Hey guys, I am back to film my book haul for April and May of 2020. I figured I would combine these because I only have 3 books for May. So I was like, let's just put these all together because why the heck not? So first I will show you guys the things that I got for April. First off was Fragment of the Lost, which is the Literally Dead book club pick for May 2020. I've not read it yet. I kind of need to get on that. Jessa knows she doesn't belong in her ex-boyfriend's Caleb's room, but Caleb's mother asked her to pack up his things even though she blames Jessa for the accident. How could she say no? As Jessa begins to box up the pieces of Caleb's life, memories flood back that makes Jessa realize their past relationship may not have been exactly as she thought. Each fragment of his life reveals a new clue that propels Jessa to search for the truth about his accident. What really happened on that storm-swept bridge, and did she know Caleb at all? Ironically, Come Find Me, which is another one of her thrillers, is one that I own. I just haven't read yet, so that's pretty cool. So there's that one. Need to get to that this month. Still haven't done it yet, but I've got some time. I've got half the month left, I think. The next one I got is The Deck of Omens, which is actually the sequel to The Devouring Grey. I buddy read The Devouring Grey with Shae. I don't know if she's interested in reading the sequel or not, so I still have to ask her that. But it's just a continuation from The Devouring Grey, so I don't want to talk to it too much because it's the sequel. But I did pick up that one. The next one I got is, I ended up getting Blood Countess from Amazon because it was like super cheap for some reason. And this one is about 16-year-old Anna, who began working as a maid for the Countess Elizabeth. Elizabeth takes a liking to Anna. She's vaulted to chambermaid status and begins to reside in the Countess's private suite, far from the filthy draft servant quarters below. For the ambitious Anna, it's a dream. She receives wages generous enough to provide for her family, and the lonely, calculating Countess, whose cruel husband is often away at war, begins to groom Anna as her friend, confidant, and eventual lover. No sooner does Elizabeth deluge Anna entirely that Elizabeth's perfect facade begins to crack, and when others in her employer disappear, Anna begins to fear that the person she's begun to love has crossed over into madness or worse. So, it's female, so that's all good. The next one I got is Strange Exit, which is another thriller. I've heard a lot of people talk about this one. It's a little baby short one, so I figured I would snag it because I'm always into more short ones because I don't feel like I have enough short thrillers. The end of the world came and went. The survivors escaped into simulated reality, a world of impossibilities and mysteries where human minds could live while the earth heals. A world that was programmed to end but never did. Now the strange sanctuary is breaking down, and only 17-year-old Lake remembers none of this is real. She spends her day searching for a strange, post-apocalyptic landscape for people who have forgotten the real world and help them escape. But time is running out before the simulation fails, and Lake's only ally is making decisions about who's worth saving and who must be sacrificed for the greater good. Yeah. So that sounded awesome. So I had to grab that. The next one I got was Veronica Ross, The Chosen One. This one I'd heard quite a few people talking about, so I ended up pre-ordering this one. Saving the world once made them heroes. Saving it again might destroy them. 15 years ago, 5 ordinary teenagers were singled out by prophecy to take down an impossibly powerful entity wreaking havoc across North America. He was known as the Dark One, and his weapon of choice, catastrophic events known as the Drains, leveled cities and claimed thousands of lives. The Chosen Ones, as the teens were known, gave everything they had to defeat him. After the Dark One fell, the world went back to normal, for everyone but them. After all, what do you do when you're the most famous people on Earth? Your only education was in magical destruction, and your purpose in life is now fulfilled. Of the 5, Sloane has had the hardest time adjusting. Everyone else blames the PTSD and her huge attitude problem, but really she's hiding secrets from them. Secrets that keep her tied to the past and alienating her from the only 4 people in the world who understand her. On the 10th anniversary of the Dark One's defeat, something unthinkable happens. One of the Chosen Ones die. So, yeah. So that one sounded really interesting, so I grabbed that one. The next one I got was The Ruthless Gods, which is the sequel to Wicked Saints, which I did read this year and I really enjoyed it. And this was the Owl Crate edition, so let's get it out of here if I can. Okay, so I think, I can't remember what was exclusive on this. It's got the speckled edges, is that what they're called? It also is sand. Those covers are cool. Oh, it's got a, okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Very nice. So there is that one. And here's a postcard that came with it also, which I will just stick in there with the book. And it also came with a pin. The trail serves itself. So there is that one. That is a crazy side spine too. And then these are the two books that I ended up getting from Book of the Month. I ended up getting the Library of Legends, which is one that I will be buddy reading with Shae. And China 1937, when Japanese bombs began falling on the city of Nanking, 19-year-old Hulan and her classmates at the university are ordered to flee. Lan and a convoy of students, faculty, and staff must walk 1,000 miles to safety, a journey marred by constant threats of aerial attacks. It is not just the refugees who are at risk. The group have been entrusted with a priceless treasure, a 500-year-old collection of myths and folklore known as the Library of Legends. Lan finds friendship and a cautious romance with a handsome and wealthy Liu. But after one classmate is murdered and another arrested, Lan realizes she must escape before the family secret puts her in danger. Accompanied by Shae and the enigmatic maidservant Sparrow, Lam makes her way to Shanghai, hoping to reunite with her mother. On the journey, Lam learns of the connection between her two companions and a trade from the Library of Legends. So that sounds pretty cool. So I got that one. And then I also got the thriller for the month, which is actually the Literally Dead book club pick for June. I had to think for a second there. Yeah, so this one was for May, which is this month, and this one is for June, which was perfect because I got it early. And this one is basically it's like a guest gathering on a remote island off the coast of Ireland for like a wedding. And then people start dying. Pretty sure. Yes, people start dying. You know, it's a thriller. People start dying. But I thought that it sounded really cool, so get down here. So there is that one. I did not actually get a book of the month pick for May. I deferred for the month since there was just nothing that interested me at all. I'm really kind of sad how they handled the young adult part of it, because my understanding is they, created the young adult book of the month, which obviously I signed up for because I love reading young adult. I don't read that many adult, but I read tons of young adult. So I signed up for the young adult version, and then I guess it didn't do well because they got rid of it. But then when they got rid of it, they were like, oh, well, we're going to make sure that every month there are young adult picks for you to pick for the month. And so far, the last 2 months, they've not had a single young adult pick, even though they said they were going to have young adult picks for it. So I'm kind of just like, because like half the romance the adult ones are just kind of like meh to me. I mean, I'm kind of wanting fantasy, and they didn't seem to have that many fantasy whenever they actually have them as an option. So I don't know. It was just kind of like, eh. So I foresee a lot of skipping in the future. So these are the books that I ended up getting for May. The only 3 books that I got. So I got Winter and Fairest, which is the last book in the Lunar Chronicle. and the side story in the Lunar Chronicle. So this is how do I say her name? Levon's story? I'm not sure how I'm saying her name. But the bad guy's story. And then Winter is the continuation of Cress and all the rest of them, and Cinder and Scarlet and Winter, and dun dun dun, will they defeat the bad guy in the end? La la la. So, you know. I'm actually in the middle of both of them because I am reading this one with April and Shae for the Tell It Again book club for this month, and then Fairest, I decided that I was going to read it for Read-A-Rama. So there's that. So those are the two that I got for that. And then the last one that I actually did end up pre-ordering for May, which was the only book I ended up pre-ordering for May, was Goldilocks. Earth is no longer in the habitable zone. This one sounded really cool, so I couldn't help myself. The Earth is in an environmental collapse. The future of humanity hangs in the balance, but a team of women are prepared to save it, even if they need to steal a spaceship to do it first. Despite the increasing restrictions on the freedom of women on Earth, Valerie Black is spearheading the first all-female mission to the planet in the Goldilocks zone, where conditions are just right for human habitation. The team is humanity's last hope for survival, and Valerie has gathered the best women for the mission: an ace pilot who is one of the only astronauts ever to have gone to Mars, a brilliant engineer tasked with keeping the ship fully functional, and an experienced doctor to keep the crew alive. And then there's Naomi, Valerie's surrogate daughter and the ship's botanist, who has been waiting her whole life for an opportunity to step out of Valerie's shadows and make a difference. But when things start going wrong on board, Naomi begins to suspect that someone is concealing a terrible secret, and she realizes time for life on Earth may be running out faster than they feared. Dun dun dun! So this is kind of like I think this is like a thriller slash sci-fi book, which sounds... I'm not sure if I want to put it in the thriller section or in the sci-fi section. They claim it's a bold and thought-provoking new thriller. Okay, I guess I'll put it in the thriller. But it sounds really cool, so I'm definitely looking forward to that, and it's got like the sci-fi elements to it, which is really nice. And I realized after I organized my books, I don't have a lot of sci-fi. Actually, can I do this? Can I do this? So I reorganized my books. I'm sorry if this is going to be really crookedly angled, but here is all my fantasy books. It's packed to the brim. Oh, that's terrible, but that's... you can barely see that. This is my TBR for my manga, and then the 20 and 20 books that I was planning on reading. And then down here is my sci-fi, some more fantasy because they wouldn't all fit up here. Like a couple horrors and random things in there. And then, oh gosh, sorry camera. And then the bottom down there is my thrillers and like ghosty books. So that... oh, you are so crooked now. Close enough. So that is a little sneak peek of that. Because, yeah, I finally organized it. I had to make more space. It wasn't happening. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed my book haul for April and May 2020. I will see you guys later for the next video. Everyone have a very good rest of the day. Bye!